when I say systemic child sex trafficking, I'm not talking about something that's made up like the systemic racism. I'm talking about it has been organized. It is being set up by the governments of our country to do this kind of teaching to our kids so that they are desensitized to sex, so that they are more willing to see it happen and to be trafficked. And also, John, to have their morals be thrown in the toilet. When you're now being told you can share naked pictures of yourself, where is that acceptable? Why is that acceptable?
I think that's called child porn.
And so now, John, here it is. Systemic child trafficking. All right. You ever hear this guy, Alfred Kinsey?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is a dirtbag. I don't know any other way to describe him. He was using sexual studies of 6-week-old kids and to see where their orgasm was. He was paying one pedophile to do all this stuff to investigate children to see when their orgasm would be, when they would be something that would be, they're able to have sex. This guy, he is absolutely something that should be looked at as evil. Yet he is praised, John, as the founder of modern sexual theory, and he is what is used primarily by places like the UN and Planned Parenthood and other left-wing groups like that as a model. This guy helps to form the manifesto for for sexual education in our around the entire world. Because, John, as you'll see in this next slide, it's not there. It's not there. It is. As you see, the Comprehensive Sex Ed program, which is done by World Health Organization. John, the World Health Organization. Do I need to say anything more about how bad this thing is? Just starting off with them, the same clowns who think that China didn't bring the virus to the world. These clowns, the ones that bought and paid for Chinese, these clowns are part of the driving force behind the Comprehensive Sex Ed and Purple Haze. This is going to be important for those people that you and I talked about. They are also working with the United Nations about creating this comprehensive sex ed plan, which is already here in our country in places like California and Washington State, and places that are left-wing areas of our country are adopting the comprehensive sex ed. Now, John, I got to tell you, this is going to surprise you. You ever hear when they talk about, well, they're teaching kids, they're teaching 5-year-olds about sex. They're teaching, masturbation to 9-year-olds, to 4th and 5th graders. John, you ready for this? As you look, I'm going to just jump ahead. I'll come back to that in a minute. But if you look at this right here, the 5 to 8-year-olds, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, 9 to 12-year-olds, if you look at it, they're teaching 9 and 12 years old, John. That's not grades 9 to 12. That's 9 to 12 years. They're teaching them masturbation.
Ugh.
Masturbation, John. Masturbation. So at 9 to 12 years old, it gets worse. So they have this thing called the genderbread person. This is all documented. I have the links. I'm actually decided after I did some of my research, I'm going to write something up about this because this is disgusting on a higher level than disgusting, where they teach gender identity and they start to question, whoa, you're not a boy, you're not a girl, at little kids. And John, they have this genderbread person say, oh, this might make you feel a little hungry. That's okay if you feel a little hungry, but they, they kind of like soft soap it. It's targeting our children, not our high school kids, but our little kids, our little 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds, brother. And if you look at this, the 5 to 8-year-olds, the learning objectives define, and I'll see if I can run my mouse over it, define gender and biological sex and describe how they are different. John, how do you describe that they're different? You show them pictures of boobies and you show them pictures of genitalia.
To 9-year-olds and 12-year-olds?
5 to 8-year-olds, John.
Yeah.
5 to 8-year-olds. Reflect on how they feel about their biological sex and gender. So, in other words, it's okay. It's okay for you to question your gender.
These are teachers, James?
No, John. This is the comprehensive sex ed program that is being pushed by Planned Parenthood. I forgot them. Planned Parenthood, the International Planned Parenthood, the UN, UNESCO, and the WHO, and a couple other. But it's already in our schools.
But it's sex ed by teachers. Are these teachers doing it?
Run by teachers. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The answer to your question is yes. It's done by teachers are the ones teaching it. And John, if you're a teacher like me who would say, I'm not teaching this garbage, you know what they do? You know what the answer to that is?
Yeah, what?
That's okay. We'll have somebody from Planned Parenthood come in and do it.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, I wanted to, let me see if I can go back to this point right here, because this is an important point. I skipped over because I went to drive it home. The desensitization of sex. That's what this is. When you do it to the 5-year-olds, to the 9-year-olds, when you desensitize them to the sexual organs, it makes them more able to. Yes, it is, David. It is crazy that it's happening, but it is. It makes it more easy for them to be trafficked. It makes them more vulnerable because I'm looking up boobs. What the teacher's talking to me about sex. So this strange guy who's interested in me is also talking about sex. So it's got to be okay.
It normalizes
desensitization.
Yeah,
it normalizes
pedophilia.
And it does, John. And that's, by the way, MAMBLA is also one of the organizations behind this, which is the man-boy love thing where they think it's okay for men to have sex with boys. And I want to, not to say that, this is not just a government problem, like where the governments are doing bad things. This is also our commercial businesses out there, because here's, the media, if you look up here, the Teen Vogue is working actively to teach kids how to take naked selfies. And you'll see from the quote here, so you're curious about taking and sharing nude pics. This is from the article that's listed right there. You're welcome to go do a Google search on it right now at Teen Vogue. When is it safe to send a partner nude photos? This is Teen Vogue. This is not Vogue. This is for teenagers. And they're encouraging them to send, hey, it's okay to share nude pics of yourself. We're going to tell you how to get the best light for it. John, this is absolutely the bottom of the barrel. When you see this, you gotta say what is wrong with our country. And by the way, there's the link at the bottom right if you're interested. Get very familiar with yourself. Pose in a mirror, caress your silhouette. Know your naked angles. This is what is a Teen Vogue. It's like 12 pages long. And it goes on and on. And I didn't have to, this wasn't a hard piece to find, John. This was not hard to find. And it's very available. You don't have to pay to get this article. So that is my child sex trafficking. So I guess to sum it all up, brother, when you look at the when I say systemic child sex trafficking, I'm not talking about something that's made up like the systemic racism. I'm talking about it has been organized. It is being set up by the governments of our country to do this kind of teaching to our kids so that they are desensitized to sex, so that they are more willing to see it happen and to be trafficked. And also, John, to have their morals be thrown in the toilet. When you're now being told you can share naked pictures of yourself, where is that acceptable? Why is that acceptable?
I think that's called child porn, and somebody should be going away for like 3 years for each picture, something like that.
And it should be called endangering children. But John, they're using to show these pictures. They're using the same law that allows you to have biology textbooks, showing naked body.
They're shielding
anatomical.
It.
It's the shield. It's shielding it. They're using the same law that are used for the libraries to have these pictures in there for real. For like the older kids. That's how it's able to get into the schools. They're now teaching it as part of the course. So